Today there is a very important topic on which we are going to talk, and this is it. The Great Shofar prophecy, awake, up call through time. What if I told you there's a sound so powerful that when it echoes through Jerusalem, millions believe it's a signal from God himself? What if that same ancient sound is connected to prophecies about the end of the world? And what if, right now in 2025, we're closer to hearing it than ever before? Have you ever heard something that doesn't just hit your ears, but shakes your whole body? Something that bypasses your brain and goes straight to your soul? That's what we're talking about here. This sound, this ancient sound that's been echoing through human history for thousands of years. Every time it's blown, people lose their minds. Some say it's just ritual. Some say it's a call from God. Others whisper it's the signal for the end of days. But here's what nobody's asking: why does this sound still matter in 2025? Why are scientists, religious leaders, skeptics debating about it online? And most importantly, what happens if the prophecy is real and we're ignoring the warning? Stay with me. Once you understand what's really going on, you'll never hear the word prophecy the same way again. The sound that shakes Jerusalem, here's the wild part: it's happening in Jerusalem, the most intense city on the planet, the crossroads of faith, war, and prophecy. When that shofar goes off, people swear it's not just a horn. It's a message. I don't care if you're religious, skeptic, or somewhere in between. When you start digging into the prophecy behind it, when you start connecting the dots with what's going on in the world right now, AI, wars, chaos, division, it feels like we're standing on the edge of something huge, something ancient colliding with the modern world. What is the Great Shofar? The Great Shofar prophecy is one of those things that blows your mind when you start digging into it. It's not just a horn. It's not just some old relic, ancient instrument made from a ram's horn that's been tied to thousands of years of tradition. I actually believe it's got this connection to the end of days, like a cosmic alarm clock. When it's blown in Jerusalem, especially in moments of crisis or holy significance, like a signal, almost like the universe or God or whatever higher force you want to call it, is literally trying to wake humanity up. Think about that for a second. Imagine a sound that cuts through history. Every time it's heard, people stop and go, whoa, something big is about to happen. In prophecy, the shofar isn't just about celebration, it's about war, judgment, redemption. All these massive events, the ancient meets the modern. The crazy part is how it lines up with modern ideas. We're out here talking about AI, wars, and the shofar comes back into focus as this prophetic sign. What are the odds? It's almost like reality itself is syncing up with this ancient warning system. If you sit with that thought, it makes you wonder, is the blowing of the shofar less about religion and more about shaking human consciousness? It's a reminder that something is coming, something inevitable. People across history have always felt that vibe when they heard it. This sense that time is running out and we're being called to pay attention. Jerusalem, ground zero. When you talk about the shofar in Jerusalem, you're not just talking about some old religious instrument. You're talking about the heartbeat of one of the most intense spiritual places on the planet. Jerusalem is ground zero for history. It's where empires clashed, prophets preached, temples were built and destroyed. In the middle of all that, this horn, this primal sound, echoing through the streets and walls for thousands of years. The wild part, it's not like a polished trumpet or some shiny modern thing. It's raw, literally a ram's horn. But when it's blown on those steps near the Temple Mount or during these massive gatherings, people don't just hear a sound, they feel it. It goes through your chest. It vibrates your bones. You realize why. For centuries, it's been tied to prophecy. In Jerusalem, every sound means something. Every ritual carries weight. Shofar is like the loudest reminder that this city isn't just geography. It's this living symbol of human faith, conflict, and destiny. You could be standing in the middle of modern Jerusalem with cars honking, people on their phones, Starbucks on the corner. But then that horn goes off, and suddenly you're connected to something ancient, something way bigger than politics or religion. The end, time connection here is where it gets absolutely nuts. The whole idea of the shofar being tied to the end. Time isn't just some fringe thing, it's actually baked into thousands of years of tradition and prophecy. The way people see it, sound of the Great Shofar is supposed to be like the ultimate alarm. The thing that wakes up the world right before something massive goes down. Judgment, redemption, whatever you want to call it. What blows my mind is how that connects with the way people today are already talking about the end of the world. Scientists saying climate change is spiraling. You've got AI exploding, nuclear weapons, global instability. It feels like the whole system is shaking. Then you hear this prophecy, one day a horn will sound from Jerusalem, and it will mark the beginning of the final chapter. You start thinking, wait, what if these old texts weren't just metaphors? What if they were pointing to actual events that line up with our timeline? That's where it gets creepy. No matter how rational you are, when you hear the word prophecy, something in your brain wakes up. Deep down, humans are wired to pay attention to signs. The shofar as an end, time connection, is one of the clearest, most dramatic ones out there. It's like the world's oldest warning system saying, get ready. Everything is about to change. Modern reactions and intense. What's crazy about modern reactions to the shofar is how split and intense they are. On one side, you've got deeply religious people who hear it and immediately think prophecy is happening right in front of us. They get emotional, tears in their eyes, goosebumps. For them, it's not just a horn, it's confirmation of everything they've believed their whole lives. On the other side, you've got skeptics, atheists, secular folks who just roll their eyes and go, come on. Just a tradition, it's culture, it's not the end of the world. Then you've got this middle group, people who aren't super religious, but when they hear that sound echoing through Jerusalem, deny that it hits differently. It feels ancient, primal, like something deep in your DNA is responding to it. In today's world, where everything is on social media, shofar isn't just something that happens in a temple. It goes viral. Millions of people who would never step foot in Jerusalem suddenly see clips online and start debating in the comments. Prophecy, politics, or just hype. Some even try to tie it into science, like the frequencies of the sound doing something to the human brain, which is insane, but kind of makes sense. When you hear it, it doesn't feel normal, it feels bigger. The deeper meaning, here's the thing. When you really sit back and think about the shofar, deeper meaning goes way beyond religion, way beyond prophecy. It's not just about the end of days or some ritual in Jerusalem. It's about this idea that human beings need to be shaken awake every once in a while. We get so caught up in our lives, scrolling on our phones, working, fighting over politics, chasing money, that we forget there's this bigger picture. The shofar is kind of like this ancient reminder that says, yo, snap out of it, pay attention. It's fascinating because the sound of it isn't pretty. It's not like a perfect orchestra note. It's primal. It hits you like a jolt. Maybe that's the point. Life's biggest truths aren't supposed to be comfortable. They're supposed to wake you up, shake you, make you question everything. That's what the shofar represents on a deeper level. A wake-up call for humanity, not just for Jews or Christians or any one religion, but for all of us. It's a reminder that we're part of something way bigger than ourselves, that history has a rhythm and we're just a beat in it. When you hear that horn, it's like the universe reminding you you're not in control, you're not the center, you're part of this massive unfolding story. Whether you believe in prophecy or not, that sound forces you to stop and feel it. Reconnect with something ancient inside yourself. That's powerful. It shows that even in this hyper-modern world, with AI and rockets and all this tech, a piece of carved horn from thousands of years ago can still cut through the noise and make people feel something real. The bottom line, so here's the bottom line. When you really piece it all together, the prophecy, the sound of the shofar, the history of Jerusalem, the end-time connections, the way people today react, and the deeper meaning, it's not just about some ancient horn, it's about us, it's about humanity, about whether or not we're paying attention to the bigger story that's unfolding right in front of our faces. Maybe the shofar isn't just a prophecy for the end. Maybe it's a prophecy for right now, like a call to wake up, to stop living on autopilot, to recognize that the stuff we argue about every day doesn't mean anything compared to the bigger truths that connect all of us. Honestly, I think that's the real power behind it. It's not just religion. It's not just mysticism. It's this reminder that there's something more. The question is, are we listening, or are we just letting the sound fade into the background noise? If there's even a chance that this is the universe ringing the alarm, then ignoring it might be the biggest mistake we could make. Maybe that's the whole point. It's not about predicting the end, but about waking us up to start living right now while we still can. Final thoughts, if you've stuck with me through all this, thank you. Seriously, conversations like this are what keep us thinking, questioning, searching. That's the good stuff. That's where growth happens. So good luck out there. Take care of yourselves. Keep your mind open. Don't be afraid to lean into the big questions.